Good morning, folks. I'm Joe Mangicotti, Joe Mangicotti Show on WCRN 830 AM as well as AM 730 WACE. It is September 7th, 2019, and Dorian is kicking the Bahamas, headed up the coast. I think it might be more of a Trump supporter. It seems to have spared Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach and headed for Obama's mansion on Martha's Vineyard. So I don't know. Might be a little leaning to the right as far as hurricanes go. But the interesting thing about that is the talking heads are all about climate change, and Dorian is so horrible and no one, no storm has ever done this. But folks, I got to tell you, and how many times do I have to say this? Will you please learn from history? There were storms like Dorian in the 60s that just sat there and kicked up the Bahamas and kicked up Florida. And in the 1900s, in the last century, there were many storms that behaved just like Dorian and Category 5. So this is not the first time. It's not a one of a kind, but they get like that. Anyway, big show coming up. The first Saturday of every month, of course, we're going to have Senator Mike Moore in studio from 7 to 8 o'clock for Politically Speaking. He might be in a little earlier. A lot going on this weekend. It's the Worcester Pride weekend. Cameo Classic Jag will be in that parade, so look first there. It'll be me, Ming, I think the Senator, Deb Drew, and of course, Teddy the Wonder Pup will be with us. But also, Sunday, tomorrow, big day for Teddy. It is Pet Rock at the Wyman Gordon facilities in Grafton, North Grafton, and Teddy will be there, and it's just and WCRN will be there, so stop by. We're in booth number 9. Say hi to Teddy, myself, other WCRN staff members will be there, of course, and would love to see you over there. What we're going to talk about, well, of course, anything you want to talk about at 508-871 and that's 7,000 to reach the studio for two-way talk and conversation. That's how you can do that. You can also follow us on social media, combined a lot of these things. Just simply follow Joe Mangi Show, M-A-N-G-I, Joe Mangi Show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Teddy Goodpup still has his own. We're going to be talking about Triple E today, right? That's making a very devastating impact into the region, so we'll get a lot more out of Senator Moore on that. We're going to talk about gun control a little bit today. Red flag laws are coming up, of course, with the presidential, election coming, but the debates with the Democratic Party, they're each trying to, top each other in everything, including gun control. So we'll talk about the stupidity of some of that there. We're going to talk about the arrest of I think 36 people on the Straight Pride Parade, and 4 of them assaulted police officers, and D.A. Rollins in that county think that they should not be prosecuted, and the judge is saying no, they broke the law, being prosecuted. So I want to talk about that, but also about these fascists who show up covering their faces. I've been saying this for almost 2 years. If anybody's a fascist, it's Antifa. Talk about irony in naming. If anything reminds you of the brown shirts in 1938 Germany, it's going to be anti-Antifa showing up like they do and beating people and forcing people to their way of thinking and their will, with no tolerance whatsoever for any other opinion or stance than theirs. So that's coming. And Senator Tran out of the Fitchburg area, he's saying enough is enough and that we should be making it illegal to cover your face with bandanas, masks, hoodies, whatever, even, just alter your appearance to avoid prosecution or identifying, identity and then prosecution at any public rally or protest or event and parade. It will go for anything. And there is a precedence for this. North Carolina, of course, it was sparked by the KKK, have laws in the book that says you cannot wear a mask, cover your face, even alter your voice in any public way, period. So that's something to be said about that. Does it clash with freedom of speech? Well, I got to tell you, if you're at a parade or an outing or anything that's supposed to be fun and family oriented, and a bunch of these jamokes show up with dark hoodies up on there and bandanas on their face like it's 1882 and they're robbing a stagecoach, And history tells us that they have water bottles for piss and urine and bleach, in their packs with weapons. That instills a little bit of fear. So that's something that should be talked about. All of this, hopefully, we'll get in and discussed during the show today, starting at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on AM 830 and AM 730. I'm Joe Mangiacotti, and I'll see you on the radio.